We'll begin with Jacob James. Jacob, go ahead.
Yeah. Hany, I guess on your penalty kick in the 80th minute, did on your initial shot that was saved, did you in the moment sense that the goalie had gone off his line early? And I guess what were you thinking just preparing to retake the kick?
Yeah, I just saw that he's going a little bit towards my left, that he made that move. But obviously this goes so quick, I cannot really see that he goes off the line. But yeah, that's football. That's happens, and yeah.
Jacob.
Yeah, and St. Louis came in with a pretty tough season record wise, struggling, but we're able to get a big win, seem to play very inspired tonight. I guess is there anything you can learn just from the way they played and came out this game, even though you're obviously in a much different position with your record with the season you've had so far?
Yeah, I think that is a good learning lesson. It's a good punch in the face at the right time. I think we have done so well so far, and we can be proud of it. But yeah, the last two road games or three road games, we have to look into that and learn, because there will be very, very interesting games coming up now, and we need to take our lessons out of these last games and do it better.
We'll move forward with Valaire.
Hey, Hany. Your last three trips to Western Conference teams, Seattle, San Diego, and now St. Louis, didn't end up well. Is there a pattern there? Is there something about Western teams, or do you think that's just a coincidence?
Yeah, I just said it also in the locker room. I don't know why that is, but yeah, we definitely have to look more into that. Three Western Conference, three losses. Like we have to figure that out. But yeah, we have to stay positive. It can happen. It's a good timing. It's a good punch in the face. It's very painful because much needed 3 points in St. Louis, but it's a very good reminder for all of us. There are no easy points in this league, even though St. Louis was struggling before this game, and we have to keep fighting, keep working hard, keep pounding the fundamentals, and yeah, moving forward, we have to take our lessons.
And then just on that final goal that wasn't given, what did you see from your position on the pitch, and what was the explanation given to you from the referee?
Yeah, I haven't looked it back, but from my perspective, Tier was not even really in the picture when the goal happened. But yeah, it's frustrating. But I think it's not the right time for us players to point fingers on this. We had our chances. There was enough space to create more chances, and we have to watch video back and study the film to see where we can improve. And from my perspective, just coming out of the game, there was so much more in this game, so much more we could have done. And yeah, that is the mindset for us players, not concentrating on the ref. He makes the decision. We can't change that, but we can definitely change our performances.
And we'll wrap it up with Ben Wright.
Yeah, Hany, you just talked about kind of some of the space and maybe some of the chances that you guys had. It felt like, especially in the first few minutes, you had a lot of looks on the break, and then St. Louis were able to kind of control a period. How do you feel like you guys can maybe manage that middle stretch of the game better?
Yeah, I think from my feeling, I think we should have, given them the ball a little bit more in the, like let them come to us, like we try to press them high, and that is what they wanted. The first, I think, the 20 minutes, we attack, they attack, we attack, they attack. There was no like control, and that is not what we're about. We want to control the game with the ball. We want to, sustain the attacks in their halves, and we didn't do a good enough job today. I think we should have been way more patient. Like we rushed it, myself included. Like sometimes we rushed the attack because it seemed so open, but that is what they want. And then you do a mistake, and then they all of a sudden are in your half. And we don't want to have a 70-yard game, back and forth. That is not our strength. Our strength is pinning the opponents in and keeping the ball. And then, like being a good mid-block team. And then from the mid-block going to press, like being more compact. And I think today we didn't do a good enough job to be compact and make it difficult. Like they're good if you give them space. If you give them 70-yard space, they're good enough players to score goals. We saw that today. And but I think if we make the field 25, 20 yards, like it's very hard to break lines, to play behind. And lessons to be learned. And we have to move forward. That's part of the season. Now the very interesting part starts. So we have to lock in and we have to find the winning ways back.
And then BJ has talked a lot about just being process oriented instead of results oriented. And I know earlier in the season that was probably important to not get too high when you guys were on that long unbeaten run. How important is it now to kind of just stick to the process and not get too low after 2 losses?
Yeah, this is football. There will be times where you don't score, where you don't win, where you maybe win 15 games, and like this is part of a season. We have to believe in each single player. We have to believe in the coach. We have to believe in the system. We have to believe in the philosophy of the club, and we have to stick to these fundamentals. And if we stick to them and work hard every single day, we will go back to it. And I have no doubt the mentality in the team is great. Like I have really no doubt that we will bounce back, and we have responded the whole year, and that is part of it. Of course, it's painful to lose, especially if you, like you said, like you had a really good stretch, and now all of a sudden teams where you shouldn't lose, you lose, and it's painful, but it's a good learning lesson. We have to breathe now and watch the film back and move on.
All right, thank you. That concludes tonight's media availability.
Thank you, guys.